Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to jump into a video today about what is Bitcoin. Before we do that, let's look at the markets. The total market cap this morning, Sunday, September the 4th, is $976 billion. We've fallen below the $1 trillion mark. And today, Bitcoin this morning is down 0.43%. We're at 19,748. Ethereum's at $1,553. We dropped down to number 7 is ADA. Cardano coming in at 50 cents. And XRP, number 8 spot, is 33 cents. So let's get into what is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the world's first cryptocurrency. And it works because it's the first public blockchain network. And what does that do? It allows you to send and receive value between two parties using nothing but a computer and an internet connection. It's revolutionary because, unlike every other tool to send value over the internet, it works without a middleman, which means it's the world's first public digital payment infrastructure, available to all and not owned by any individual or company. This makes it the Internet of Value. Just as the Internet of Things is our public digital information infrastructure, Bitcoin is our public digital payment infrastructure. Now, there's the only other public payment infrastructure we have is cash, which is our fiat money system, which, fiat is a currency that gets its trust backed by a government or backed by something. Our fiat system was taken off the gold standard back in the 1970s. So the only value that we have in our currency, our paper money today, is what the government tells us it is, which requires trust and trust in a central government. So what Bitcoin does is it makes a public system, and then that trust is based on the public entity itself. So in cash, we have it only works on a face-to-face basis. With Bitcoin, this value can be sent anywhere in the world, anytime, day or night. And Bitcoin does not rely on private institutions to open up their books and record a transaction on their private ledger. Bitcoin's public ledger allows that transaction to take place securely and transparently. Once it's done, it's transparent, it's on the books, anybody can see it, which goes against what a lot of government officials were trying to lead us to believe in the beginning, that Bitcoin was for the criminals, for the scammers. Why would you use Bitcoin if you can see every transaction that takes place? It just doesn't make sense. If you're a criminal, the majority of scammy transactions that take place are done using cash because it can't be tracked. With Bitcoin, everything's public, everything's open, you can see everything that happens here. So Bitcoin is the world's first globally accessible money. Now, what are some things that you would need for owning crypto? So I'm going to say number 1 is going to be patience. So this likely is going to be different than anything else that you've ever done in the past. There's going to be frustrating times, no doubt. There's going to be times where you're trying to send a payment and it's not working the way you want to. Perhaps you're trying to open up an exchange and things just aren't working the way that you'd hoped they were. There's going to be confusing times. And there's probably going to be times that you're just going to want to quit and walk away, like on days when there's huge drops in the market and you see your balance just dropping. Like every time you refresh, you see your money, it seems like just going away. But if you be patient, I believe that one day it will be worth it. So the second thing that you're going to need is a notepad and a pen, which seems odd. You're thinking, why would I need a notepad and a pen? Because as you enter your crypto journey, you start to buy, to sell. you start to hold on exchanges or your own hard wallet, you're going to need to write things down. Your passwords, your security phrases, all things that we can define in the future, but you need to be able to write those down and keep them in one place. I use a tablet that I have, a small notebook, and every exchange that I use, every wallet that I use, it contains my username, my password. All those things are kept written down, stored in a secure place, and they're actually in two separate places. I have a copy of them so that if something happens to the one location, I can still access those for the future. Now, the next thing that you're going to need, a couple of good exchanges. So what is an exchange? An exchange is a place where you would buy or sell your crypto, your digital assets. A place like Coinbase, Uphold, Binance US, Gemini, these are all exchanges that I use. And then never store your assets on the exchange. Now, if you're trading and you've got a little bit of money on there and you want that to be able to buy and sell and keep it on the market, you could do that. But anything that you're planning to hold long term, do not store that on the exchanges. Because what happens if the exchange goes down? Perhaps there's a government regulation that takes over, and they shut down the exchange. Then your digital assets are lost, and you can't access them again. So that brings me to the next thing that you ought to have is a hardware wallet. The hardware wallet is a Ledger, a Trezor, SafePal. There's a number of different hardware wallets out there. My favorite, the one that I use, is a Ledger. And you can store your assets on there. You can access them at any time. They're stored on the blockchain, actually, not on the physical device. And the Ledger just gives you a way to access those. And anytime that you send a transaction from your Ledger, you're going to use your device to sign that transaction, making it more secure. Now, that Ledger can be stored in a safe place in your home, a safety deposit box, or somewhere that you feel secure. And when you're doing that, let me also say, don't store your Notepad with all your passwords right along with your Ledger. That's not a secure way to do things. So hopefully that was helpful. If you learned anything today, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below with something that you would like to have better defined. I know in our last video someone said that they'd like to hear more about crypto IRAs, and we'll cover that in an upcoming video. We'll talk about my favorite crypto IRA, and that's I Trust Capital. And there'll be a link for that in the description below, as well as some other things that you can check out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.